look at Cancer. These are your cards. These are your tarot cards. The High Priestess and the Chariot. The Chariot is actually the Cancer card. That is your card. And this speaks to someone who is moving and shaking, but on a spiritual level. So they're always feeling sensitive energy. They can sense what's going on around them. They can utilize the energy that's around them. They're smart, they're intelligent, they learn things that help them move forward. They're a cardinal sign, so they do like rules and regulations and things to follow a certain pattern. That is the thing they need, but they're also spiritual. They like the intuitive side of life, the spiritual side of life. And it's really a good idea for them to use that on a regular basis. They should trust themselves, to be honest with you. And they are homebodies for the most part. They like to be at home, or they like to cook, they like to provide for their family, or they like to create space for their families and their children. They can make very good mothers, very good parents in many ways. As long as they're stable mentally, they are perfect. They're a fantastic parent. This is their other card. This is the High Priestess. So they get both. This energy is all about psychic energy, both of the cards actually. So it tells you a lot about the Cancer. They're very psychic. She is the most sought after female there is. She is beautiful. She is sensitive. She is gentle. She is kind. She is sensitive beyond most signs. You know, actually all the water signs are pretty sensitive. But what just happened, just so you know, with Jupiter moving out of Cancer and into Leo, this may make the Cancer way more sensitive, okay? Way more sensitive and off-center. So if they're going to flip out, this is going to be the time. This Cancer will flip out at this time. But it's only temporary. It's because you're not used to Jupiter not being in your sign. So as it pulls away, you will feel less stress even. Maybe you'll feel less stress or less eyes on you or less troubles or less problems. This could actually be a good thing in some ways, but you might not notice it until about 3 or 4 weeks after. All right? At first, it'll make you feel uneasy, uneven, and maybe even a little bit unstable. Okay? But don't let it bother you. If you've been trying to lose weight, this could be a good time. Maybe there's been a lot of stresses around you for a long time and you've been focused on it. In fact, I'm thinking of a friend right now who's had trouble with finding her forever home kind of place. And this energy might shift the energy in order to help that. That's my point. Okay? Money and confidence do begin to flow. It's just a little bit slower, comes in a little bit slower near the end of the month. Sorry, I'm slapping some mosquitoes here. Travel and maybe even education come together. Maybe you decide you're going to go back to school for something and maybe even get paid for it. That could be a really good thing. And I think finally there's going to be some kind of acknowledgement for the difficulties or for the benefits that you have put into a situation or a project. So this is going to be a good month for that too. So if you've been feeling like no one gives a shit and no one's paying attention, it'll be okay. But don't forget, if the first couple of weeks in July, this is the cart that's going to be turned upside down a bit, okay? It will. And when this card goes into reverse, she can be a bitch. For those Cancers that are in love, I'm going to say things have been working out. You've been having conversations, and good conversations help bring about difficult decisions. And this card is about restrictions or limits or limitations or things like drug abuse or alcohol abuse or sex abuse or gambling or some kind of abuse. So this is usually even smoking, okay? So Cancer, if you've been struggling with something, this might be a really good place for you to begin either reducing relationships with people like that, or if you've got some problems like that, you're reducing them, okay? Stress is the big one for you. It might cause some skeletal problems as well, like maybe in your spine or your back, spine, back, whatever, and your hips is what I was trying to say. There you go. or your neck. Okay, so if that's happening to you, you should address it, maybe with some massage care, something like that. And just take more responsibility for your body. If you're feeling the pain, if you're feeling stress, those types of things, it's going to go somewhere, right? It's got to go somewhere. So you have to take the time to do something about it. Whether you put ice on it or have someone rub it or put those electric doctor hoe things on yourself, help yourself out a little bit, okay? So, and let's see what we got for money for you guys. Oh, look at the money. You got some, maybe it's about time. I'm going to say that you're feeling way more safe financially, way more safe. Opportunities are going to come. Maybe you didn't think they were going to come, but they do come. Again, though, don't forget, it's probably going to be third week in July, so be patient. Okay, don't worry, it'll be on its way. As far as, so we talked about health, we talked about money. What about love? I think you're prone to people's bullshit. Yep. I think maybe there's if you're a single Cancer, you probably need to be really careful that you don't listen to someone tell you exactly what you want to hear, okay? Because it may not be true. The other thing is I'm going to say that somewhere along the line, you have allowed certain kinds of verbal abuse. I'm going to put it that way. I'm going to say, Cancer, you should not allow verbal abuse. And if you are experiencing verbal abuse from someone, it'd be time for you to, tell them it's not very nice. And why do you accept that? Don't accept that. Don't accept someone talking down to you or making you feel less than. It's just absolutely unacceptable. Don't accept it. So be very cautious in your choices around love, because you may not realize that you're accepting circumstances that are abusive. If you are not in a love affair, and that, I'm just telling you to be mindful of catching that kind of energy and allowing that kind of energy. Cancers, if you're single, I don't know. I don't see you moving towards relationship. No, I don't see you moving towards relationship unless about those Cancer people who are not, who don't have their shit together. They're probably going to be in relationships with wrong people. Okay, if you're already in a relationship, Cancer. How's that going to go? I think this particular month there's going to be some conversations that shoulda, coulda, and woulda a long time ago, okay? So those conversations might make you question yourself. Again, are you in a bad relationship? Do you allow abusive conversation? Do you allow that? And if you find out you do, I think this is going to be a month for you to fix it. Cancers are single and they go back into a relationship, it's going to be more of the same nonsense. It's more of the same nonsense, more of the same instability. So I'm going to say no. Okay. They have some OCD or compulsive obsessive disorder. That's OCD that you need to consider and look at. Okay, for sure. That's what I see there. All right.